Alright, let's do this, y'all. Welcome to Hardcore Enduro, where it's all about getting out, riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars and the voice behind the mic. And we're off to a fantastic start, probably my fastest bomb run I've ever had. Except where am I going? I am going the wrong direction, y'all. I need to be going right, and I'm going so far left. I'm about a half mile off the group now. This is ridiculous. Never done this before. I'm so far to the left. Anyway, so I get my voice down. It was really high up, pitched up there. So we're doing course A for the Shamrocks European Scramble. You saw course B. Course B I did in the morning. Course A is in the afternoon for my group. Yeah, it was a terrible start. You idiot. You went freaking the wrong direction. Who does it at a bomb run? Now I got all the dust ahead of me. I'm sitting kind of in the back of the pack right now. And my hopes were just shot because I had high hopes coming in. I got second in the morning race, and I was thinking, man, I ought to do pretty good in the afternoon race. We got a couple new riders here. Not everyone that did the morning race does the afternoon. They are kind of separate races. You have to enter each one. And so you get different riders, different racers. And not only that, but it's just a different course and different part of the day. This one started at 2 p.m. It did get a lot warmer than this morning's ride, and I didn't pack as much water, which even the race is still an hour long, so you really don't need a lot of water. And I was thinking about not bringing my bladder pack all together, but I said if the bike has an issue and I break down out in the desert, it'd be nice to have some water to drink. So I did bring about a half bag, whereas this morning's ride I had a full bag. And the dust is worse on this course, especially with the sun, the angle of the sun with the dust. We're riding almost straight into the sun right now, and it was just making it super dusty. And I think the course was just more dusty, especially in this area at the beginning of the race here. This race was 10 miles, whereas the morning race is only 8 miles. Look at that dust. I mean, it's like fog out there. My lungs are just coated, and my mouth, my lips are just coated with dirt. Trying to take an outside line here just to get, oh, watch out for that wash right there. Get an outside line here just to get some clean air, which was a smart move. And I'm able to get back on the throttle and get some passing going on. Those guys are stuck in the dust. There was an accident in the morning's race, and they had to call the helicopter and get it out here and fly the guy out. I hope he is okay. And during our little riders meeting, he pointed out on the back side, kind of the far side of the course, there's a rut, and you'll see that in the video. I'll point it out. There's a rut that I'm guessing it was the one that he hit. Very dusty out here. You see everyone zigzagging through the ribbon line here, just trying to find the course. It is, the camera sees through the dust a lot better than your eye does. Look at that. See that guy? He's crossing back the other way. He's going way off to the left. He's off the line, way off the line. Now get that pass in. You gotta take advantage of his mistake. He's off. I got this nice sandy wash in there, and I can just twist that throttle, get ahead of him. Yeah. If you ain't passing, you ain't racing, y'all. This part of the course, though, it just had a lot of little bumpy, choppy whoops, a lot of zigs and zags, and I kept each lap, I was like struggling to stay on the line. I don't know why, but I kept getting off, especially right here. I get far left, it's supposed to go right up there. There's a big ditch coming up. And I go over the hill right here, and there's a big ditch, just drops down. I have to slam on the brakes. Hey, watch out. I could have just went up and over, but I locked up real quick. You know, sometimes you don't know what kind of rut is on the inside of these ditches. Now I gotta be careful getting back on the course here. Someone's gonna fly over and run into me. The last thing I need is be T-boned right on the course. Me causing a accident here. It's funny, at the riders meeting, the guy said, anyone do the bomb run? And like nobody raised their hand. Like no one did the practice bomb run this morning. Of course, they have two courses, so I guess you could have practiced them both, but he said, he was big on doing the bomb runs, and I'm like, I've said that in previous videos, is that it's very beneficial to do bomb runs. It's just so you know where to go, and I just got so lost. So take that as a lesson learned. Oh, watch these big whoops. It throws me off right into the bush right there. Come on down. This was a little bit smoother line, so the next couple laps I'll just take that outside line right there. Up through this sandy wash. Really squirrely. I did a lot better on my turns in the sandy wash. Usually it's, oh man, that was a close one there. Speaking of doing better in the sand, I almost just completely ate shit right there. But it saved it. That was how this whole race was today. I had a ton of those moments where the front end, I started to tuck in and it would catch itself, or the back end would kind of slide out a little bit. It was a very squirrely race. Now I did go softer on the suspension on the front and the rear. As far as the compression is, I softened it up and it felt much better. I wish I had this set up on this morning's race. I think I would have done a lot better. But I was fatigued, and that's really the story of the second race here, is I was just pretty darn fatigued, especially the last lap. My legs were burning pretty bad, and there was just a ton of whoops. Nice little sandy climb there. So if you didn't see the course speed video, I'm running the IRC VE33S. It's one of my go-tos. I really like this tire. It is a 110, and they say they're coming out with a 140, so I can't wait for that 140 to come out. I think that is my go-to tire, especially for this type of terrain. These hare and hounds, the hare scrambles out here. I think it has the big knobs. It bites in the sand, and it still has some soft compound, so that when you go through some of the rockier sections, it's still able to get some traction. And then I don't have a drilled out moose for these fast races. I just run a solid moose. It is a plushie, so it is one of the softer mooses out there. It says 6 to 8 psi, and I always say it's about 2 psi. Harder than that out of the box. Now I have some hours on it, so it is probably sitting around 8 psi, which is good. Going down this wash, big old dip right there. Suspension just doing its thing right now, feeling good. It's gonna be a couple big whoops up here, and she feels good. Like I said, it went a little softer than this morning's race, and I didn't have that back end kicking out like it was this morning, so that really helped out. Right here, big old whoops right there. Going fast over these big whoops. Now we get down in this kind of little canyon right here. It's got this river, kind of creek wash, real sandy wash. And we're gonna ride this down all the way to the valley floor. You can see some dust up there, so there's a rider up ahead of me. But these fast sections, we're just going so quick. That's where that stabilizer would be so nice to have. You're just going so dang fast. That front tire is that VX40 from IRC. It's a little bit softer compound for a front tire, but it still grabs pretty good. I do have a moose in there that has about 30 hours on it, which I think it's still good for probably another 30 hours. So I'm gonna shoot for 60 hours on the moose that I have on the front tire, but doing really good. Now we're coming up to this turn up here, and I think this is where this guy went down. So you go left, but you could go right around there, and there's a big rut. Of course, it doesn't look like much on the camera, but you're coming in hot right there, and there's a big rut. That's the only place I saw where there could be a big rut, other than when we get out to kind of the open valley section. We're coming up here, it just opens up. We're out of the hills right now. And you're still hauling balls here, and I can see it'd be easy to get kicked out and lose your balance here. I don't know where he fell, but I hope he's doing all right. I'm sure somebody knows who it is, and maybe they could comment on here and give us a thumbs up if he's all right. Yeah, bunch of, see, I softened a little bit. That's where I know it's good, because now I'm coupled in the big whoops, big hits, the big G out there. My heels drag just a little bit, and that's where I know I think I got my suspension set just right. Catching Greg up there. He's ahead of me making all this dust. Dust? Yeah, there's a lot of dust. Just kind of a rough section out here. You had to be on the line, little wide turn here. You need to learn how to carry speed through these turns. You know, I could take them a little wider and carry that speed and try to come in short, or I need to cut the corner, and then I can just cut the corner and carry the speed that way. Got the last checkpoint here. This race, it really just felt like it went by so fast. Basically, it was a big triangle. So now we're heading off to the finish line, or the end of lap 1, and then we'll start lap 2. There was a really big, oh, thanks for the screen swipe there. Right here, you had to pull back on the handlebars. That was a big old, yeah, you really bottomed out there, but I did really good technique there. When you come up to that one, I'd pull back on the handlebars. And so Trixie was kind of doing a wheelie into that, and it landed the far side and did really good. Like, it went over it really smooth. The suspension absorbed the hit and kept on going. All right, here we are, the end of lap 1 already. Man, that was quick. So I'm sitting in 6th position right now. So start of this lap, I have Greg still ahead of me, and he's gonna get off the ribbon line in a bit, and I'm gonna take advantage of that mistake. I'll get a pass on him, but I'm gonna have to eat his dust for a while, and I was trying to find a line to get outside this dust, because I'm not gonna pass anyone if I gotta eat all this dust the whole time. So whenever you guys race, especially these hair scrambles, even, you know, race a hard enduro, some of that, like the beginning, sometimes those dusty lines, you just can't see. It forces you to go slow, so you got to find an outside line. So I come out to the right here and get some clean air, and now I can twist the throttle a little bit more. I'm looking at his dust. He's still up there to the left. I'm like, all right, I just got to stay close. Don't get too far off of him. I don't want to lose the ribbon line. But I think he's a little far left of the line even at this point. If you can see him, he's up there about 11:30, only about 50 yards ahead of me. But he's far left of the line, and I'm gonna cross the ribbon line. Here's the ribbon line, and now I know I'm like, all right, he's far left. All right, I gotta make the pass on him. There you go. He's at 11, 10 o'clock right there. Keep hammering down, Georgia. Come on, get that pass. And now I got the pass. Now I know I can throw some dirt in his face, and that's going to take him kind of out of the race. Well done, George. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. That's how you pass in the desert in the dust. Now we got a G out coming up, and I just want to point this out. The technique to get across, you got to really pull back the handlebars right here. This is where it is. Boom. Big hit in the suspension. So when that's coming, you really got to pull back, try to get that bike in a wheelie so that when it lands on the other side, it can transfer that weight and it doesn't just totally bottom out the bike, and then when it bottoms out, you just crush onto it and then you get bucked off usually. That's where you rebound and you're doing a Superman holding on the handlebars while your feet are straight up in the air, which I've done that before. It's probably my worst crash of all time. I was back in high school. I was riding my old 1986 YZ250. Yeah, that was a beautiful bike back in the day. But I was going, I hit a G out, and I compressed it, you know, just like I said, you compress down, the bike rebounds, bucks you off. I'm literally, my feet are 12 o'clock straight up in the air. I'm just holding on to the handlebars, looking straight down the ground. And I land on the handlebars. I was going probably about 50 miles an hour, and it wags over. It almost punctures through my stomach, rips the skin. I then fall to the side. I get dirt all through my knuckles, my hands, my forearm, my elbow. Just had dirt all underneath the skin there. I thought I died. I laid there on the ground for a couple minutes, and then I wiggled everything. Nothing broke, thank God. Now there's that big old ditch again. There's Mike right up there. But I was scared to go home, and I was trying to hide it for a while. I was trying to wash out all the dirt from my skin, and I was all bleeding from where it ripped my stomach. And I had to tell my mom what happened, and so I did. And then she ended up telling my dad that we need to get him some boots and some gloves, because I never rode with any of that stuff. It was just cowboy boots, jeans, and my helmet. So I took this outside line. Before lap 1, I did that inside line, much better than the outside line here. That's That's what's cool about doing the GP style racing. You get to learn from each lap, and you ride each lap just a little bit better than the previous one. So that's the story of how I got into dirt bike gloves and then boots. And now, of course, I ride with everything. I have every kind of protection. I even go overboard. I get more protection than what you need. Like my gloves there, I got the street gauntlet gloves. They're kind of pricey. They're very comfortable. I was a cameraman, small for the camera, but they protect my hands. First thing you ever do when you fall is you put out your hand. So I always go big on protection for my hands. Trying to catch Mike right here and getting after. I missed this right-hand turn right there. And I come left, there's a dead Joshua tree right in the way. I almost had to slam on the brakes. I didn't want to hit that tree. Even though it didn't look like much. I could have just stayed on the gas. It just turned a little bit. I didn't have to come to a complete stop, but better to be safe than sorry, y'all. That's what I'm saying. But I got knee braces. I got padded underwear. I got padded chest plate. I got a whole bunch of stuff, I guess. I guess I should do a little video of what I ride with. You can hear the comments about what you ride with. You know, I'm always looking for something better than what I got. I don't want to get hurt. So if you got a better idea, or you ride with something that protected you, I want to know about it. Because I want to be at a state where I can just fly off the bike at any moment in time, tumble a little bit, and then just get right back on the bike. Is that too much to ask? I want an indestructible suit. That's what I want. Right here, this part of the course, see the sun's directly behind you. As you can see the shadow there. So through the goggles, you almost can't tell the difference in terrain. It just looks flat. You know, if you've ever been snowboarding or skiing in the snow, there's a certain time of the day when you're skiing and the angle of the sun, it just makes all the moguls, all the bumps look flat. And so it's kind of a guess of where the hell they're at. Now, why in skiing, why do they call them moguls? And then out here, we're calling them whoops. Should be calling them moguls. All these sand moguls. There's another little creek crossing there. You really had to pull that technique of pulling back on your handlebars, getting it in that wheelie position. That just sound dumb out here. Whoops sound way better. They should be saying whoops in the snow. We got snow whoops. We got sand whoops and snow whoops. They're all the same. They're right here, just that shadow, a little bit of dust hanging in the air. It was hard to see where the hell the whoops were. All right, headed back down this sandy speedway, coming a little wide. You're going really fast here, and yeah, stay on the course there, dummy. But going so dang fast, it's scary, it's stressful. You know, when you're going this fast and you were to fall, you're probably going 65 miles an hour right there. You fall now, it's gonna hurt. Something's gonna break. I don't care how much protection I'm wearing, something's breaking. All right, we got this little S turn here. Mike, I caught up to him because he was I came around that corner and I could see him. And then I do that. All right, he's right up there, so you can see him. He might be getting tired though. Cause I was getting tired. We got this lap, and then we do one more lap. So we got 3 laps in for our group. And sometimes when you ride, you know, you'll ride hard for a while, then you kind of ease back, catch your breath, get your second wind going, and then you'll get after it again. So maybe that's what he's doing. Cause I reel him in pretty close here, and then he takes off once again. I'm like, dang, I had him within my grasp. Oh, and then I stalled the bike. I'm in too high a gear. Downshift. Come on, downshift, you dummy. Use the clutch or something. Learn how to ride your bike. Gosh, dang, do you even ride? Do you even know how to ride? And then Mike takes off. I had him reeled in, and then I let him get away from me, and then I keep making all these mistakes. See, I almost wash out there, almost wash out here. Keep making these mistakes trying to catch him. I get off the course here, running through bushes. Going to the right now. That's slowing down. I'm like trying to catch him, and I keep making all these mistakes. There he is. All right, let's go. Get after it. You got some dust to eat, but you can do it. Let's go. But Mike, he gets after it too. And then I think he's having some bike trouble or something. I don't know what happens. But we go through the finish line there, and he pulls out. So I don't know if he had bike issues or what was going on, but I'm not able to catch him here. I'm going for it, and I know he's going for it. So I'm sitting in 5th position right now, and of course I had that terrible bomb run. I was like, man, what would I have done if I didn't have that terrible bomb run? It's easy to speculate now. At the time, I was going as fast as I could go. There we got the white flag out, so we got one more lap. So here we go. We get right after. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be tough. How to get Mike in this situation here, because it's so dusty. Look at the sun, it's getting lower. It's making the dust even worse, and then it disappears. So he pulled off. So he just stopped right there. I don't know what happened. Maybe he just said, nope, not gonna do another loop, or he had bike issues. So I don't know what happened on. But moving on, so we got some dust out there ahead of us. Looks kind of far, maybe a half-mile out there ahead of us. Quite of a ways, but I got some clear skies. I need a screen swipe. Come on, Georgie. It's dusty there. I'm trying to make a good video here. It's all dusty on the video. Swipe that. There you go. Look at the difference, y'all. That looks a lot better. All right, so with no one ahead of me for a while, I'm able to get after it pretty good, but I am very fatigued. I started to cramp. My thighs started to cramp up. You know, not drinking as much, not taking eat breaks. Here's that big G out again. Going a little slow through here. I was feeling these whoops, y'all. They were really making my thighs scream. I did a lot more sitting down. Which, the last thing you want to do in whoops is sit down. Big old whoops, big old rollers. Going too slow. You go slow, you really feel them. But I can't stand up, so I'm doing a lot of. I'm sitting here. I can tell because they got more handlebars in the screen. That's the giveaway. If it's just a fender, you can see I'm standing. If it's you see the handlebars, I'm sitting. All right, this is Tony. I screwed up in the last video. I called him Ryan. That is Tony right there. He doesn't look like Ryan. He looks like a Tony. I should have known better. But thanks for pointing that out, y'all. I hope you guys don't mind if I call your names out in these races here. I think it's fun knowing who's racing, who's competing out here. Years from now, you'll be able to watch this video and you can point out to your grandkid, be like, hey, that was me. Grandpa used to be a hardcore racer back in the day. Back when racing was legal. They used to say, what? Racing was legal? Yeah, we used to actually ride dirt bikes out in the wilderness. Yeah, that's going to be a long forgotten thing, I'm afraid. Anyways, folks, hope you enjoyed this. This is course A for the Shamrocks European Scramble. I really like the setup, the race format of it. I ended up coming 4th on the overall race for this group of racers here, and then 3rd in my class. So I was pretty happy with that, knowing I could have done just a little bit better with that terrible bomb run start, but it's good for a couple laps seeing the start. That happens. That's racing for you. Next race coming up, it's going to be a sprint enduro down in Johnson Valley, November 2nd. So we got 2 weeks till that comes up. Until then, get out, ride, and get some. Ew!